Good morning, students. This is the 10th lecture for drug discovery, and this is also a last lecture for you for drug discovery chapter. Now, in the previous lecture, we completed about the design of antagonistic drug and design of a prodrug and design of enzyme inhibitory drug. Now, one more topic is left over, that is last topic, a clinical trials. Clinical trials. Now, after the discovery of a new drug, first it was developed. After its discovery, it was developed in the means to simplify its structure and also to minimize its unwanted properties and also to improve its biological and pharmacological activity. It was developed, and after its development, it was evaluated for its biological activity in microorganisms, tested in microorganisms. So after a discovery of the new drug, its structure was simplified by using a simplification techniques, and for what? To improve its biological activity, pharmacological activity, and to minimize all unwanted other properties associated. That is called as development, drug development. Drug discovery followed by drug development. After its development, its activity to be tested first in microorganisms. So its activity regarding the biological activity will be evaluated, testing in a microorganism after that. Now, after evaluation of biological activity in the microorganisms, now the drug molecule, a new drug, is tested in animal body for evaluation of is any toxicity associated with the new drug, tested in animals. Tested in animal body. The new drug is tested in animal body for what purpose? For evaluation of toxicity. If associated with a new drug. Now, to know any toxicity if associated with a new drug, the drug is tested in animal body. This study is called as preclinical study. Preclinical study. Now, the drug is tested in the animal body in different phases to evaluate its toxicity is called as preclinical study. The preclinical study include acute toxicity, subacute toxicity, carcinogenicity and mutagenicity. Now, these are the studies included in the preclinical study. Are you following? A new drug, in order to evaluate its safety, first it is tested in the animal body to evaluate is there any toxicity associated with the new drug. Depending upon duration of study of a new drug in the animal body, the preclinical study is classified into the study of acute toxicity of a drug, subacute toxicity of a drug, carcinogenicity and mutagenicity of the drug. Now, this classification, the study of a new drug for its safety in animal body is called as preclinical study. So depending upon the duration of study, the study may be for only 1 week, the study may be for 1 month, or the study may be up to 1 year. So depending upon duration of study, to evaluate its toxicity in the animal body, it is classified, the study is classified into acute toxicity study, subacute toxicity study, and the carcinogenicity study, and as well as mutagenicity study, because some kind of the drugs can immediately shows their side effect. Some other drugs may show their side effect after its administration after 1 month. Some other may produce side effects after 1 year. Some other may produce after 2 years or after 3 years. So therefore, the toxicity will be evaluated by the study of new drug molecule in the animal body up to 3 to 4 years. So that study includes carcinogenicity, mutagenicity, acute toxicity evaluation, and subacute toxicity evaluation. After doing so, now this study is conducted in different kind of animals, from lower animal to the higher animals. After passing a drug safely from preclinical study, after studying a drug for preclinical trials or preclinical study, if it passes safely from the preclinical study, then it was studied in the human body. Now this is the final stage. If a drug passes safely, means a drug should not possess any kind of toxicity, either acute or subacute or carcinogenicity or mutagenicity. If drug has not possesses any type of toxicity, called as safely passed. So a drug after passing safely from preclinical study, that is animal study, it was tested in the human body. It was tested in the human body. This study, that is testing of the new drug molecule or study of the new drug molecule in the human body, is called as clinical trials. Clinical trials. Now after passing a drug safely from toxicology study, that is preclinical study, the drug was tested in the human body to evaluate or to know about its pharmacokinetic action. As it is a new drug, we don't know what is its pharmacokinetic action as well as its pharmacodynamic action. As again it is a new drug molecule, we don't know our new drug is going to interact with what kind of target and how it will show its action in the treatment of a specific disease, that is called as pharmacodynamic action. So for a new drug molecule to evaluate its both pharmacokinetic action and pharmacodynamic action, it is tested in the human body. This testing or this study is called as clinical trials. Now according to your syllabus, you have no preclinical study, no biological study in microorganism. You have to study only human body, that is clinical trials. A small topic, introduction to clinical trials, was included in the syllabus. So after discovery of the new drug molecule, first it was developed, it was simplified, that is called as development. After that, its activity was evaluated by testing in the microorganisms. After evaluating the biological activity, if found a rich biological activity or significant biological activity, those compounds were tested in the animal body to evaluate the toxicity associated with the new molecule. If not, then it was tested in the human body, called as clinical trial. Why it is tested in the human body? Before administration, it is very important to know what is its pharmacokinetic action and what is its pharmacodynamic action. So this study is called as clinical trials or clinical trials or clinical observations. Clinical trials are also called as clinical observations, clinical trials. Now coming to the topic. Now coming to the clinical trials. So what is clinical trial? Clinical trial is the study of evaluation of pharmacokinetic and pharmacodynamic action for a new drug in the human body is called as clinical trial or clinical observation. This study of new drug in the human body is conducted in four phases. So the study was conducted in the four phases: phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 and phase 4 clinical trials. First, phase 1. Now first, phase 1 clinical trial. Phase 1 phase 1 clinical trial. Now in the phase 1 clinical trial, the new drug is tested only in the healthy volunteers, not a person suffering with a disease. That is, the new drug is tested only in the healthy volunteers. Now, the drug was first tested only in the healthy volunteer who do not suffer with any kind of diseases. Healthy volunteers. For what purpose? To evaluate. Phase 1 clinical study is conducted in the healthy volunteers by applying a drug under lower concentration. Now phase 1 include healthy volunteer, testing only in the healthy volunteer, applying low concentration of the drug molecule in order to survive the healthy volunteer. Low concentration. Now we are testing a drug molecule in the healthy volunteer. Does not require any pharmacokinetic action, pharmacodynamic action. As the volunteer is healthy, there is no any kind of disease, so that the drug is applied only in the lower concentration to survive the healthy volunteers. Now by the application of lower concentration of drug to the healthy volunteer, it is evaluated. In order to stop, why it is tested in the healthy volunteer? In order to evaluate the dose requirement. How much doses to be applied? As it is a new drug molecule, we don't know about its dose. So to evaluate the dose, it is tested in the healthy volunteer to dose as well as affinity. About the evaluation of its affinity. Now about evaluation of potency and evaluation of its method of administration. About its method of absorption, about its method of distribution, and its metabolism and excretion. So to know all this information, for a new drug molecule, it was tested in the healthy volunteers. For what? By the application of low concentration to survive, do not affect the drug to the healthy volunteers. To survive the volunteer, low concentration of the drug is applied. Now, the low concentration is sufficient to evaluate all these pharmacokinetic action, as the pharmacokinetic actions are not depends upon the concentration. Is it clear? Pharmacokinetic action of the drug, any pharmacokinetic action of the drug does not depends upon concentration. Just we simply to evaluate a fundamental or basic information about the new drug molecule. Therefore, low concentration is applied to evaluate or to know about the dose to be applied to the patient, to know its affinity, to know its potency, and to know in what method the new drug is suitable to apply to the human body. That is method of administration. Is the drug it is a new drug molecule. Earlier it is not known, it is a new drug molecule. Therefore essential to know by what route it is suitable to apply. Whether it is suitable to apply orally or through injection or application to the epithelial or sublingual or whatever it may be. We already discussed the routes of administration. So it is essential to evaluate by what route our new drug is suitable for its administration to the human body. After that, it is also essential to know how it is absorbed. As it is a new drug molecule, earlier we don't know its information about the absorption. Therefore, we should know how it is absorbed and where it is absorbed and where it is absorbed. After that, how it is distributed, and where it is distributed. Is it clear? We have 4 type of compartments studied earlier classes: interstitial, plasma, intracellular, transcellular zones, depending upon the water and lipid ratio in the body fluid. Now it is very essential to know how the new drug molecule is going to distribute and what is the proportion it is distributed in each compartment. Then it is also important to evaluate the method of metabolism. Now metabolism already we discussed. Now in it happened in the 2 phases: phase 1 drug metabolism, phase 2 drug metabolism. In the phase 1 drug metabolism, the drug is transformed into metabolite, that is intermediate, by the process of hydrolysis, reduction or rearrangement or oxidation. There are 4 processes available in the phase 1 drug metabolism. Now as our drug is a new drug molecule, it is very essential to know how it is undergoing metabolism. In the phase 1, by using what process, whether it undergo metabolism by oxidation or reduction or hydrolysis or rearrangement. To evaluate this information for the new drug molecule. And in the phase 2 drug metabolism, how the new drug intermediate get combined with what. Now the phase 2 drug metabolism includes combination with water soluble material, to which it is a new drug molecule, its intermediate, that is the metabolite, to which it bind to form a water soluble material, can be evaluated. And similarly excretion, by what process, as it is a new drug molecule, by what process after its metabolism it will get excreted from the body. So to evaluate, to know this information, this all information is related to pharmacokinetic action. So to evaluate the pharmacokinetic action, that is all these information, the drug was studied or tested in the healthy volunteers. Is it clear? Now after this study, it gives some information about to what extent the drug is applied to the patient, that is dose. Is it clear? By what method it is suitable to apply, So the phase 1 clinical trial, phase 1 clinical study gives the information how much doses to be applied to the patient and to what method it should be applied, whether it should be applied orally or whether it should be applied injection process or any other routes of drug administration. So this is called as phase 1 clinical trials or phase 1 clinical observation. Next, coming to phase 2. Phase 2. Phase 2 clinical trial. Now, after study of phase 1 clinical trial, the phase 2 clinical trials were conducted. The study of a new drug molecule in a patients who suffered with a targeted disease. Patients. This was conducted in a patient. This was conducted in a patients who suffered with a targeted disease. So a patient who suffered with a targeted disease. The study of a new drug molecule in a patients who suffered with a targeted disease is called as phase 2 clinical observation or phase 2 clinical study. Now this study was conducted. Phase 2 clinical study was conducted in a limited number of patients. Now, it was conducted in a, what is phase 2? Study of a new drug molecule in a patient who suffered with a targeted disease. Now, this study was conducted only in a limited number of patients. As its pharmacodynamic action is not known, therefore, it is expected it may be harmful to the patient. Therefore, it was conducted in a less number of patients who suffered with the targeted disease. Is it clear? Now, that what is the meaning of targeted disease? If our drug is anti-cancer, then it was tested in a cancer patient. If our drug is anti-ulcer, it was tested in ulcerative patients. Is it clear? Now, respective disease. So, depending upon the activity of our drug, it was tested in a patient who suffered with a targeted disease in a limited number. Why it is studied in the phase 2? To know, to evaluate. Now, to evaluate or to get the information about what will be the target for the new drug. For evaluation of target. For evaluation of target. As our drug is new drug molecule, it is important to know what is the target for our drug. Whether the target is receptor, whether the target is enzyme, whether the target is ion channel, or whether the target is carrier molecule. And also the affinity of a new drug molecule towards the specified target. Affinity. What extent of affinity drug has to bind with the target, a specified target. That is called as affinity of the drug to bind with the target, or ability of the drug. Affinity or ability. Is it clear? Now, to know the interactions. To know the interactions. How our drug will interact with the specified target. Through what process it will be interacted in order to bind. Is it clear? Now, to know after binding, to know how it evaluated its action. That is how it shows its action on cell function. That is pharmacodynamic action. Its mechanism. Now, the phase 2 is conducted in a patients of limited number. For what purpose? To evaluate what will be the target. and to what extent it has affinity to bind towards the target, specified target, through what kind of interactions our new drug is going to bind with the target, whether binding through van der Waal or binding through hydrogen bonding or binding through ionic interaction or binding through dipolar dipole or binding through dipolar ion dipolar interaction. So this is important to know or evaluate how and by what process, by what kind of interactions our new drug will interact with the specified target in order to bind. After that, it is also important, as a new drug is applied to a patient suffered with the targeted disease, it is also important, after binding a drug, after binding a drug molecule with its target, what will be its action, what will be its pharmacodynamic action on cell function, how it reducing the targeted disease, by what mechanism, what it doing inside. The evaluation of pharmacodynamic action, that is mechanism of drug action towards the targeted disease. So all this can be evaluated or studied, called as phase 2 clinical study. Is it clear? Now coming to phase 3. Now phase 3. Now phase 3. Now phase 3 clinical study is similar to phase 2. There is no difference between these two. Phase 3 clinical study is similar to that of, quite similar to that of phase 2 clinical study. Again it was conducted in a patients. Again it was conducted in a patients who suffered with targeted disease. Who suffering with the targeted disease, but in more number of patients, more patients. In a more number of patients. As in the phase 2 clinical study, it was conducted in limited or less number of patients. So the phase 2 clinical study gives some information about its safety, about the safety of drug. Therefore, in the phase 3, the same drug, the new drug was conducted in more number of patients of different regions, different regions. Different regions of all age groups. Now, the drug is tested in phase 3 in more number of patients of all age groups, because some kind of drugs act only in a particular age group. To evaluate the new drug action in all type of age groups who suffering with a targeted disease, it was tested. Is it clear? A patient suffering with a targeted disease, whether the new drug is show its action in all age groups or not, can be evaluated. And coming to some drugs will work only a specified region people. Therefore, the new drug is tested in a patient suffered with a targeted disease of all regions and all age groups. Is it clear? So the difference between the phase 2 and phase 3 is, phase 3 is conducted in more number of patients of all age groups and all regions. So to evaluate its action, the drug action, pharmacodynamic action in all type of age groups and all regions of a patients who suffered with the target, it was conducted. This study was conducted. Is it clear? So this is about phase 3 clinical observation. Now coming to last observation, phase 4 clinical observation. Phase 4. Now there is a last phase of clinical observation. Now the study of a new drug molecule in a pregnant woman. The phase 4 clinical trials were conducted in a pregnant woman to evaluate the drug safety. Now, why it is conducted in the pregnant woman? To evaluate the effect of a new drug molecule on embryo. Effect on embryo. So to evaluate a new drug molecule, its effect on embryo, it was conducted in pregnant women. If a drug has the effect on embryo, that leads to fetal death and birth defect. Now, if any drug has its effect on an embryo, that causes either fetal death or a birth defect. After birth, there may be a defects in the observed in the child. So, to evaluate its safety, a drug safety towards the embryo, it was conducted in the pregnant woman. If a drug has an effect on embryo, causes fetal death or birth defects. Therefore, so this will give information about the usage of the new drug molecule in a patients of pregnant women, whether the new drug molecule will be prescribed to pregnant women or not. If a drug has no effect on embryo, this was prescribed to use for a pregnant woman. If a drug has effect on embryo, it never prescribed to be used by the pregnant woman. Is it clear? Now, in the phase 4, the drug is also tested in male and female humans. Male and female. So the drug was also tested in a male and female humans in order to evaluate or in order to know their mating behavior and effect of a drug on a reproductive system. Mating behavior to observe or to evaluate the mating behavior of the tendency of mating of male and female, as well as the effect of the drug on a reproductive system, on a reproduction. It was tested in a male and female human bodies. So this is about clinical trials. Now, a drug passed safely from phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 and phase 4 clinical trial. Then after passing safely from all the clinical trials, it was applied to the Food and Drug Administrative Authority, that is called as FDA, for its approval in order to market or in order to launch in marketplace. Is it clear? A new drug molecule, after its discovery, it was developed. After development, it was evaluated for its biological activity in the microorganisms. If shows any significant biological or activity during the microorganism test, during the screening, then those drug molecules were tested in animal body called as preclinical study. After passing a drug safely from all the preclinical stages, acute, subacute, carcinogenicity and mutagenicity study, now the drug was tested in the human body in phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 and phase 4. Phase 1 in healthy volunteer, phase 2 in a patient suffering with the targeted disease, phase 3 also in a patients of targeted disease, and phase 4 in the pregnant women. If passed safely, drug from all the preclinical study stages and clinical study, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. Then the drug was applied to the Food and Drug Administrative FDA for its approval in order to launch in the marketplace to market the new drug molecule. So this is the process involved. Is it clear? Now last topic is left over. That is drug patents. This was the last topic. This is the last topic in the syllabus, drug patent. Now coming to introduction. Coming to introduction to drug patent. Now any idea, any machinery, material or process, a machinery, a method, or process, any machinery or any method or any process of human idea emanated from the human mind. Now, a machinery or a method or a process or sometimes a technology. Technology, machinery, method, process or sometimes a technology, whatever it may be, obtained from intellectuals of human mind, obtained from intellectuals of human mind, are created by the idea of human mind. A machinery, method, process or technology which were created from the idea of human mind or intellectuals of human mind are called as intellectual property. Intellectual property. Intellectual property. These are the properties: machinery, method, process, technology, etc. Some other, etc. These are the property obtained from the idea of human mind. Idea created from the idea of human mind. A properties created from the human mind are obtained from the intellectuals of human mind. These properties are called as intellectual properties. These properties obtained from where? From the intellectuals of human mind, therefore called as intellectual property rights. Intellectual properties. The rights which are sanctioned by the government, by the rights, whatever the rights sanctioned by the government to the invention, to the inventor on his invention, to the inventor on his invention is called as intellectual property rights. Intellectual property rights. Is it clear? Say, the properties obtained from the intellectuals of human mind is called as intellectual properties. Now these are inventions. These are the inventions. A method, machinery may be invention, method may be invention, a process may be invention, or technology may be invention. Obtained from where? From the intellectuals of humans, who is called as inventor. inventor, a person whose mind the properties are obtained in his mind is called as inventor. This is invention. Now, a, a property obtained from the intellectuals of human mind is called as intellectual property. The rights whatever sanctioned by the government to the inventor on his invention, because the invention is obtained from his intellectuals, therefore the rights will be sanctioned to him. So whatever the rights given by the government to the inventor on his invention is called as intellectual property rights, IPR, intellectual property rights. Depending upon the nature of invention and its use, the intellectual property rights may be classified as so based on the nature of invention, or intellectual property rights will be classified as copyright. It may be copyright, it may be patent, it may be trade license, it may be trademark, it may be trade secret, it may be trade secret. Now, based on the usage of invention or application of invention or nature of the invention, the intellectual property rights were classified as sometimes copyright. For example, you take a movie. Movie is the intellectual property of a director. Therefore, a rights will be given to the director on his movie called as intellectual property rights, which includes copyrights. Similarly, patents. It may be classified as patents. Now, it may be trade secret, it may be trade license, or it may be trademark. The rights which were sanctioned to the inventor on his invention, if it belongs to medicine, that is called as patent. The rights given to the invention, if it is related to a medicine, that may be a drug, or that may be a process, or that may be a drug intermediate, that is called as patent. What is patent? A patent is a right sanctioned to the inventor who invented a medicine, including it may be drug or its process of synthesis, or it may be drug intermediate, or it may be some pharmaceutical, whatever the pharmaceutical product, that is called as patent. So whatever the rights to be sanctioned on a medicine is called as patent. Is it clear? There is no difference between IPR and patent. Patent is a branch of IPR, intellectual property right. So depending upon the nature of invention, a rights will be sanctioned to a inventor. That may be copyright. Just now we discussed for a movie director, for his movie a copyrights will be given. However, it is intellectual property of a director, but the copyrights will be given. Similarly, for a drug intermediate or drug or pharmaceutical product, a patents will be sanctioned. Some kind of goods or some kind of product we have seen in the market where there is a trademark. It is an intellectual property. Trademark is also intellectual property. Similarly, trade license, trade secret, etc. So these all depends upon the nature. Is it clear? Now, Now coming to patent requirement. Coming to requirement for the patent. In order to get the patent for our invention, there are some requirements. Number one, so whatever the invention that should not be earlier used, not be used, that should not be used, that should not be known. So whatever the invention we invented, to get patents for our invention, it should not be used earlier. So invention should not be used earlier. The invention should not be known to any other. To get the patent, the invention should not be known to any other. Number two, it must be reproducible. The invention must be reproducible. Again and again, it must be reproducible. It can be easily prepared. Reproducible. Number three, it must be industrially useful. Now what we are discussing what are the requirement for getting the patent, that is patent requirements. So patent required to get the patent on any invention, the invention should not be used earlierly, the invention should not be known to any other, it must be reproducible, it must be industrially useful, and it must contributed in the development of nation. It must contribute the development of nation. Is it clear? It should not belongs to physical phenomena. It should not belongs to physical phenomena. Is it clear? Now, these are the some important requirement for the patent. Now, the invention must be contribute the development of nation, and it should not belongs to physical phenomena. So there is no patents or sanction to any physical phenomena. It is already there. It not comes under invention. If any physical phenomena not comes under invention, as it already there, therefore not comes under invention, so that the patents will not be granted to any physical phenomena. So these are the some important requirement for the patentability or requirement for patent. Now coming to a doubt. We have one invention. It fulfill all the requirement for patentability, but we have a doubt. Why should we patent it? Why should we obtain a patent? That is patent restriction. Patent restrictions. Now the patent will restrict the usage, damage, and selling of invention Now we are clarifying our doubt. why should our invention to be patented? That is, the patent will restrict usage, damage, usage of invention, damage of invention, selling of invention by the others other than inventor. So inventor can use it, inventor can damage it, inventor can sell it. Now the patent will restrict its usage, its damage, its selling by the other than inventor. In addition, the patent will also generate a revenue to the inventor who spent some money during his invention, during the invention of his invention. Is it clear? So it provide money, it provide revenue. So a patent will provide some revenue to the inventor which is spent during the invention. So the patent will recover all the money which was spent during the invention by the inventor. So these are the uses of patents. So the patent will restrict to sell or to damage or to use by the other than the inventor, and it also generates some revenue. How it generates the revenue? If our invention is useful industrially, the industry people will approach to us for its usage by providing some money. So in that way we can generate. If our invention is industrially useful, many industry people will approach to us for its production, for its usage and for its production. For that we give some money to us, they give some money to us. So in that way the revenue will be generated. Why should we generate the revenue? Because the inventor spent some money during his invention. Therefore the regeneration of revenue which was spent on the invention too is also very, very important. So the patent will generate the money. Now the last topic, how to obtain the patent specifications. Patent specification, that is requirements. The patent to get the patent patent requirement or specifications. Now to get the patent, the inventor should fill a patent application form. Patent application. The inventor should fill the patent application form. The application form should include, are you following? The specifications of patent, how to get the patents, how to prepare a file to get to apply and to get the patent for our invention. That is patent specification. To get the patent on any invention by the inventor, he should fill an application that includes title of invention, the name of inventor, patent application form that should be filled with a title of the invention, the names of inventors. Sometimes only one inventor, sometimes there may be a group of inventors. The names of inventor to be included in the application, and affiliation. Affiliation means the name of institute where the invention is invented by the inventors. That is called as affiliation. And abstract, the abstract of invention, a brief note on invention and thereby a method a method of invention, how the inventors are invented, by what method it is invented. The method should be included in the application. And procedures, drawings, etc. Activity study. So these are the some specifications to be included in the application. So to get a patent on any invention, the inventor should fill an application called as patent application, including title of the invention, names of all inventors, affiliation, that is where, in which institute the invention is invented, and its brief story, that is called as brief abstract of invention, and methods adopted for invention, method earlier available which are adopted for invention, and the procedures followed to invent the invention, whatever the invention, and its drawings. Is there any drawings? Its drawings to be mentioned. After that, it is important to mention or to include about the activity study conducted for a invention, that is activity study. Now after filling all this information in the patent application form, the application form to be submitted to a patent office, Now after submission of application form including all the information regarding the invention to the patent office, they will evaluate the application with the help of experts in a related fields, an expert in the related field of biological activity, methods, machinery used, etc. After satisfying all the requirements needed for the invention, and after satisfying all the information included in the application form, after satisfying the requirements for patent for the invention, the patent office will provide or sanction a patent with a specific number to the inventor. Is it clear? So after submission of patent application in a patent office, they will observe, they will evaluate whether our invention is fulfilled all the patent's requirements. What are the requirements? It should be new, it should not be used, it should be reproducible, it should be contributed in the development of nation, it should not belong to any physical phenomena. So after evaluation, during the evaluation, if satisfied with the patent requirement, if satisfied with the information included in the application, with all satisfaction, they will sanction a patent with a specific number to the inventor. So this is the procedure, this is the patent. Are you following? A patent, the requirement of patent, what can be patented? Process may be patented, drugs may be patented, drug intermediates may be patented, methods may be patented, whatever it may be. If it fulfill all the requirement for patent, can be patented. So patent, we learned about patent, what can be patented, what are the requirement for patent, what is the restrictions of patent, how it will help to the inventor, and then the patent specifications, how to get the patent on our invention. So with this, I conclude today's lecture, and with this lecture, the first chapter of drug discovery and drug design is completed. Now in the next lecture onwards, we are going to learn about the second chapter, that is lead modification. In the first chapter we discovered the lead compounds. Now in the second chapter we have to modify the lead compounds. Next class we will discuss it. Thank you very much.